This video is about how the Great Pyramid of Giza was built, why it was built, and how a 4,500-year-old structure still challenges modern engineers today. For thousands of years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood in the Egyptian desert like a giant question mark. It is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one still standing. When it was completed around 2560 BCE, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth, and it kept that record for nearly 3,800 years. Even today, with all our machines and technology, many people still ask the same question: how did ancient humans build something this massive and this precise? Let's start with what it actually is. The Great Pyramid was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, a ruler of Egypt's 4th dynasty. The pyramid was originally 146.6 meters tall, which is about 481 feet. Over time, erosion and the removal of its smooth outer casing stones reduced its height to about 138.8 meters. It is made of roughly 2.3 million limestone blocks. Most of these blocks weigh between 2 and 3 tons each, but some of the stones inside the pyramid weigh more than 70 tons. Just imagine that. 2 million blocks, each one cut, moved, and placed by hand. No engines, no cranes, no steel tools, no electricity. And yet, the base of the pyramid is level to within about 2 centimeters across its entire length. That level of precision is impressive even by modern construction standards. The pyramid's original outer surface was covered in smooth white limestone casing stones. These reflected sunlight so strongly that the pyramid likely shined like a giant mirror in the desert. Ancient texts describe it as glowing under the sun. Over centuries, most of this casing was removed and reused for buildings in Cairo after earthquakes loosened the stones. Now let's talk about how it was built. This is one of the biggest mysteries in history. Most scholars agree that the pyramid was built by a large workforce of skilled laborers, not slaves. Archaeologists have found workers' villages near the pyramids, complete with bakeries, medical tools, and living quarters. These workers were likely paid in food and housing and were respected for their role in building a monument for the pharaoh. One theory suggests the stones were moved using sledges over wet sand. Experiments show that pouring water on sand reduces friction, making it easier to drag heavy loads. Ancient wall paintings even show workers pulling statues on sledges while someone pours water in front of them. But how did they lift the stones so high? The most popular idea is the ramp theory. Builders may have used straight ramps, zigzag ramps, or even spiral ramps that wrapped around the pyramid as it grew taller. No ramp has been found that fully explains the method, but smaller ramps have been discovered near other pyramid sites, supporting the idea that ramps played a major role. Inside the pyramid, things become even more interesting. The Great Pyramid contains 3 main chambers: the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and an underground chamber carved into bedrock. The King's Chamber is made entirely of granite, which was transported from Aswan, nearly 800 kilometers away. That granite was moved by riverboats and then hauled across land. Above the King's Chamber are massive stone beams called relieving chambers. Their purpose was to spread the weight of the pyramid and prevent the chamber from collapsing. This shows that the builders understood basic engineering principles, even without modern science. The pyramid also contains narrow shafts that point toward specific stars. Some researchers believe these shafts were aligned with stars important to ancient Egyptian religion, such as those in the constellation Orion. To the Egyptians, the stars represented the afterlife, and the pyramid was meant to help the pharaoh's soul reach the heavens. The alignment of the pyramid itself is another mystery. Its 4 sides face almost perfectly north, south, east, and west. The margin of error is less than 0.1 degrees. Without compasses, GPS, or satellites, ancient Egyptians achieved near-perfect cardinal alignment. They likely used the stars, especially circumpolar stars that never set, to determine true north. Now let's talk about time. How long did it take to build the Great Pyramid? Most estimates say around 20 to 25 years. That means the workers had to place an average of about 250 blocks per day. That sounds impossible, but when you divide the work among thousands of workers using organized teams, it becomes more realistic. And here's a fascinating fact. The pyramid was not built as a hollow monument. Over 85% of its volume is solid stone. It is one of the densest and most massive structures ever created by humans. There are no hieroglyphs inside the pyramid describing its construction. That's another reason it feels mysterious. Most Egyptian tombs are covered in inscriptions, but the Great Pyramid is almost completely silent. It gives us no direct instructions, no explanation, only stone. Over the centuries, many theories have been proposed. Some claim it was built by lost advanced civilizations. Others claim it was built with help from extraterrestrials. These ideas exist mainly because people struggled to accept that ancient humans could achieve such precision. But archaeological evidence shows that Egyptians had advanced mathematics, surveying techniques, and strong social organization. For example, the ratio of the pyramid's perimeter to its height is very close to 2 pi, which has led some to think it encodes knowledge of pi. Whether this was intentional or coincidental is debated, but it shows how mathematically interesting the structure is. Another fact, the pyramid's base covers about 13 acres. You could fit several football fields inside it. And the total weight of the pyramid is estimated at around 6 million tons. Even today, scientists are still discovering new things about it. In recent years, muon scanning technology has revealed hidden voids inside the pyramid. These are large, empty spaces that were previously unknown. We still don't know their purpose. They could be structural, symbolic, or something else entirely. So what was the real purpose of the Great Pyramid? Officially, it was a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, but it was also much more than that. It was a symbol of power, a religious monument, and a message to the future. It showed that Egypt had the resources, the organization, and the knowledge to reshape nature itself. When you stand in front of the Great Pyramid, you are looking at something built closer in time to the first dinosaurs than us today. That means this structure has survived through empires, wars, religions, and revolutions. It has seen the rise and fall of entire civilizations. And maybe that's the real reason it fascinates us, not because it's mysterious, but because it proves something important. Humans have always been capable of incredible things. Long before computers, engines, and electricity, people used teamwork, observation, and imagination to build something that still stands after 4,500 years. The Great Pyramid is not just a pile of stones, it is frozen human effort. Millions of hours of labor turned into a single shape pointing towards the sky. So, next time you see an image of the Great Pyramid, remember this. Every block was placed by human hands. Every measurement was done by eye and shadow and star. And every part of it was built with a purpose that stretched far beyond one lifetime. If you enjoyed learning about how the Great Pyramid of Giza was built and why it still matters today, give this video a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos about history, science, and the greatest achievements of humanity.